Hey friends, Stacy here at Hendon Quilting. If you are new to my channel and you love all things sewing and quilting and you're looking for tips and tricks on how to improve upon your sewing skills, not the 5-minute quickie videos, but the full-on how to and why you should be doing certain things to improve upon your sewing skills, give a subscribe below and a like to make sure you get notified as I put more content out. So this is the official first video on my Back to Basics series, and this is going to be a true in-depth, everything from, hey, I want to learn how to quilt, to look at my finished product. So if you're looking for quick little videos on learning on how to do things, this might not be the channel for you. I'm going to be going into a lot of in-depth details from start to finish on a project. And whether you've been doing this for 5 weeks, 50 years, there's always something you can learn. And sometimes different people do things differently, and one method might click with you more than another method. So hopefully you'll get a lot out of these tutorials. So in our first video of the Back to Basics series, I am covering the most fun part, the fabric shopping. At least it's the fun part for me. I know some people really stress about this process, so let's break it down and make it as easy as possible for you. So I have a couple of tips I'm going to cover in this video today. The first one is actually before you even go to buy your fabrics. And that tip is to read your pattern. Read every single step of the pattern, start to finish, to make sure it makes sense to you. Why? You guys are going to hear why out of me a lot. Why do I need to do this? Stacy, why do I need to do this? Well, I can tell you I've made this mistake many times, more so with garment sewing. I have bought a pattern, got all excited, bought the fabric while I was there, and then I got home and I looked at the pattern and said, I have no clue what any of this is. And there are a lot of patterns that are just sitting there because after I read the pattern, I got overwhelmed. So why would we do this? Number one, as a beginner, you want to make sure you completely understand this pattern, because there's nothing worse than getting all excited about something, buying all the fabric, buying the pattern, and then it sits because you looked at the pattern and you got overwhelmed. So make sure you understand the process of what you're going to be making. Now, let's say you've been doing this for a long time. Why would you want to be doing this? Well, because many times I have read through a pattern and said, why are they doing it like that? I could do it like this and save so much fabric and be more efficient. Or maybe you read through the pattern and say, it's only calling for a 1/4 yard of fabric. There's no way. It's going to need more than that. So make sure, no matter what your skill level is, to read through the pattern before you buy any fabrics at all. So tip number one, thoroughly read the pattern before you even start shopping for your fabric. Okay, so we understand our pattern. We're ready to go shopping. And let's face facts, right now we have about 2 options for our shopping. We can either shop in person or online. I am going to cover a little bit of details on both of these, but let's start with my second tip, which is when possible, shop at a local quilt shop, not your big box stores. You ever hear the saying, you get what you pay for? Okay. I'm not going to spend the next 20 minutes preaching to you guys on this. In fact, I'm just going to show you. But I don't know about you, but when I make something, I put a lot of time, love, and effort into it. And I'm hoping it's something that's going to be appreciated by not only my grandchildren, but my grandchildren's grandchildren. And there are quilts out there that have lasted that long and they're standing the test of time. You're going to put so much time and effort into this project. Does a painter go to the dollar store and buy watercolors and create a masterpiece with it from the dollar store? Probably not. Is a woodworker going to make your kitchen table out of plywood? Probably not. So I would advise you to buy the best quality fabrics that you can afford. I get it. Fabric's not cheap. I understand completely. If you have a local quilt shop accessible to you, make sure you get on their mailing list to know when they're having sales, or maybe they have a clearance section. I know the shop I work at has a huge clearance section, and there's some great fabrics in there. So there are still ways to shop locally if you're crafting on a budget. But let's pop in for a second here and let me give you a couple examples of why you want to buy the best quality fabrics that you can afford, and specifically why you might want to try going to a local quilt shop first. Okay, so I have a quilt draped across Lucy here. This is a quilt I made for my oldest son, Aiden, and I'm going to first show you some of the wear and tear on this quilt, and as I show it to you, I want you to think about how old you think this quilt might be. Now again, I make quilts to be used and loved that will hopefully make it to my grandchildren's grandchildren. I actually just noticed this today. That fabric is obliterated. You can totally see the padding. Now, yes, he uses and loves this quilt. As you can tell, he sleeps with it every single night. How old, out of curiosity, do you think this quilt is? I can also tell you our cameras are a little too advanced because they're making this quilt look a little prettier than it is. But based on the kinds of things you're seeing, how old do you think this quilt is? If you guessed maybe 9 to 10 years, then you are correct. My oldest son is 13, and I made this for him, I want to say maybe his 3rd or 4th birthday. Now, there are, I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 fabrics in this quilt that I bought from a quilt shop. Everything else was purchased at Joann's because, again, I was a Joann's girl at one point in time as well. Now, take a closer look at this quilt. Do you think you can identify the fabrics that were bought at a quilt shop versus the Joann's fabrics? You give up? Hopefully you were able to see it with no problem. These little traffic cones is one of them. Look at how they've just maintained their color over many washes and a lot of love. That's one of them. If you guessed the red, you are also correct. And reds especially tend to fade. So the fact that compared to everything else in this quilt, this red is still staying pretty vibrant and true, that says a lot. Now, if you also guessed the orange, you are also correct. Again, just compared to other things around it. And I wish the camera was not making this quilt look better than it is. Maybe if I can get a picture of it showing its true wear, I will pop it in. But the orange was also bought at a quilt shop, as well as this solid gray. And again, look at the grays around it and how much they have faded versus the solid gray that I purchased at a local quilt shop. If I remember correctly, I think it was Tomorrow's Treasures in Crofton, Maryland, because that at the time was my local quilt shop. So I don't have to preach to you. I unfortunately can show you a quilt that has good quality fabrics in it, as well as lesser quality fabrics, and what has happened to this quilt over time. If you truly want your quilts to last, make sure you're buying good quality fabrics. Let's take another quick example. Okay, so we're not getting into fabric prep details right now. That's actually going to be our next video, how to prepare your fabrics before we start sewing with them. But hopefully you guys saw a video I posted the other day of my daughter Paisley and I doing a little bit of market research. Oh darn, we had to go fabric shopping, where I went to a new local quilt shop here. It's called the Sew in Place in Emmitsburg. And Paisley and I picked up a couple of fat quarters. We picked up this guy here, this guy here, and this guy here. So we picked these up at my local quilt shop. And then we went to Wally World and we picked up more fat quarters. We picked up this guy, this guy, and this guy. And yes, they're no longer fat quarters. I have cut them down into 5-inch squares. We're going to be doing a lot of things with these over the next couple of weeks. So I have just taken them and cut them down, but let's show you another difference between a good quality fabric and a lesser quality fabric. Different companies use different techniques in which to attempt to prolong the life of their fabrics. Some companies will use UV protectants on their fabrics to try and keep them from fading. Other companies use different dye setting techniques. Let's take a quick look at these guys here. One good way to kind of test fabrics, especially if you get somebody says, oh, I hear you're into sewing, I have a ton of fabric I can give you, and you're just not sure of the quality of the fabrics. I can tell you there's a lot of things that you could just visually see. You can feel the fabric. Is it soft or is it super rough? The softer the fabric, the chances are the better quality it is. When you hold it up to the light, can you see through it? Is it like cheesecloth? Probably not a good quality fabric. I can also tell you to smell the fabric. If you've ever smelled a polyester fabric versus a cotton, you're going to know what I'm talking about. I can pick something up and I can just smell that it's a poly, not a cotton. Go to some sort of fabric store that carries both and smell the fabrics. They're going to look at you funny, but don't worry about it. Smell the fabrics. Promise you, you'll figure out exactly what I'm talking about. But let's take a quick look at the fabrics that I picked up just to take a look at the staying power of them. So I have just a white cloth here and I have it dampened with water. And again, this is a great thing for you to do if you came upon some fabric and you're just not sure of the quality of it. This is a test you can do. So I'm going to take my finger and let's start with the green. Now, in all fairness, this is not a really good comparison because I just could not find two greens that were very similar. But let's start with the quilt shop fabric, and I am going to give it a good rubbing with my cotton cloth here. Counted 5 seconds. Okay, let's take a look. There is a little bit of green dye on there. Okay, so even our good quality fabrics from a quilt store might have a little bit of dye rubbing on them. All right, let's move over on my cloth here. Okay, whoa, whoa. Hopefully you guys can see that. That is a lot of dye that came off that. Now again, we do have a very dark green and a lighter green, okay? So this may not be the fairest test, but we had a lot of dye rub off of the lesser quality fabric. Let's move down the line to the reds. Start with the quilt shop fabric. Okay. We do have a little bit of dye that has rubbed off. Okay. Keep this in mind in the next video. All right, let's move over to the other one. Okay, definitely a lot more that rubbed off on that one. Moving down the line, what do you think is going to happen? If you can already see it, say it in the comments below. All right, here's our quilt shop. I know my camera's shaking. All right, we do have a little bit of dye that came off on that one. And let's move down one more. A lot more dye came off that one. Let's see them side by side. So you can see how just doing a little bit of a rub test on some different fabrics, you can kind of get an idea for how that fabric is going to wear over time. So always buy good quality fabrics when you can. Now, let's say you don't have a good quality quilt shop near you. Totally get it. There are a lot of great options online as well. What I would strongly encourage you to do is if you are buying from a small supplier, again, this is maybe somebody on Etsy or eBay or anywhere else, don't hesitate to ask questions. Ask where they're getting the fabric from. Especially again, if you're buying a specific designer or manufacturer. We want to make sure that we are buying good quality fabrics, that they're not seconds, that they're not misprints or off prints or anything like that. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Make sure it's 100% cotton. Ask all the questions to ensure that you are going to get the best quality fabric for your projects. Okay, are you ready for my third and final tip when you're shopping for your fabrics for your project? My third tip is always buy more than the pattern calls for. Stacy, we just talked about it. Fabric's not cheap. I get it. But I have 3 reasons why you would want to buy more fabric. The first one is we're humans. We make mistakes. And even though we did tip number 1 and we read the pattern, we cut it wrong. And depending upon how long ago you bought that fabric, I don't know about you guys, but I have kits that have been sitting for years, and God knows I'm not going to find that fabric. So if I miscut it, I'm in trouble. If you buy a little more fabric than the pattern calls for, that factors in the human error of what if we cut it wrong. The second reason you want to buy more fabric than the pattern calls for is the pattern designers are humans. And sometimes patterns are not always correct. I've had it happen a handful of times where I bought a pattern, or sometimes it might be a free pattern, and the yardage that they called for just wasn't enough. Or it was cutting it so close. If you didn't cut it exactly the way they told you to do it, you're in trouble. The third reason we would want to buy a little extra fabric is what we're covering in the next video. We might lose some of our fabric in the prep process. That is it for the first video in our Back to Basics series, how to shop for our fabrics. I hope you picked up a few tips or tricks in this video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And I was also thinking, should I cover how to read patterns? Is that something you struggle with? Because if so, I could maybe do a separate video on how to read patterns. But that is it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next video, which is going to be how to prep our fabrics before we start cutting them. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Please be sure to give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.